it's Bee here from Stitches and Blooms. I hope you're all well today. I've just come on because it seems to have gone quiet next door, and I wanted to video today, but then the builders have been in today to start the work on next door, and I think they've just gone for the lunch. So I thought, right, get on this, do your podcast, and that's it, and then I can do it, and then I can get it edited and uploaded. So yeah, so first things first, welcome. This is my little podcast all about crochet, craft, gardening, maybe just life in general, books, things like that. And my name is Bee. I live here. I live near Manchester, near Oldham, and yeah. The weather's a bit rubbish today. It was very cold. We're in a bit of a cold snap at the minute. Nothing compared to some other people. I know that, but I'm sorry, my hair's a bit thin because I've just been out for a walk as well. I just went and posted a letter. So we've got a bit of a cold snap at the minute, but it's not too bad. So anyway, so let's get on with the lovely goodies and crochet and things that I've been doing this week. So I showed you last week, I showed you my squares, my V stitch granny squares that I'm doing to make a blanket or some kind of bed runner. So this was just one cake, and it's a cake. I'll show you the other one that I'm working on now. And it's cream, and I'm just using Emu DK wool in the middle. So these were all the colours that were in this cake, and they're beautiful. So you got like a beige, and then you had a little bit of a grey. I'm sure there's more grey somewhere. Like this lovely kind of, what would you call that? Rose, like a rosy pink. A bit lighter there, and it's because obviously this cake there is variegated, and then it's kind of these. I know all these ends. I know I've got a big job to do, but yeah, some more, and then these lovely orange peach colours, and another kind of lovely rose pink. They're so muted colours, aren't they? But nice. There's a bit of that grey on there. So yeah, so I'm just basically doing a V-stitch, so doing 3 rounds with the cream in a V-stitch, and then 3 rounds with the colour. And then I've decided today that I am going to put a white border around it in the V-stitch, and then join them, and I think that will look very nice. So yes, that's what I'm doing. This is the next wool, and I thought that the colours go so well together. This is a different cake, but look how similar those colours are. I mean, honestly, it is a different colour. I'm sure it is. So the wool that the colour there, the cake that I'm using is a papatia. I don't know how you say it. And it's cake wool, and it is let me see, it's 150 grams, which is 520 meters. It's 8% premium acrylic and 20% wool, and it is, I would say, I think it's a DK. It doesn't actually, sorry, the light's not very good. It says a 4 to 6 needle. So to me that means like a DK. I don't think it might be a slightly thick DK, but it is a DK. So yeah, so that's the wool that I'm using for this lovely blanket. So I got 23 out of one ball of the colour, 23 tiles. So if I do this one, I'm hoping I'll get about 46 tiles, and with the border they're 6.5 inches each. So it's going to be quite, I'm thinking of maybe a bed runner for my bed. We've got a king size bed, so I'm thinking maybe either a blanket or a bed runner for the bottom of the bed. but you know, I think just with 2 balls, they're in my stash, and that's what I'm trying to do this year. I'm trying to maybe use up stash, even though I have already bought some more. But I know, I tried, but it got the better of me. So, and I had to order some more of this wool anyway, but I have used these 2 cakes up now, so, and it's going to make a beautiful blanket, I think. I can't wait to. I'm not very good at, when I was looking, I did make a list of whips that I've got going, and a lot of them are kind of, I've done granny squares, or I've done African motif hexagons, and you know, I've done some kind of squares, and I just haven't got round to joining them. And I think as well it's the fact that I haven't tied in a lot of the ends. I know, I'm so bad, I really am so bad, but I'm trying to be disciplined. It's not working very well. I'm trying to be disciplined, and you know, so when I've done these 2, I've ordered that wool. Like I say, I've not got a lot of that left, so I will need more to finish this off and do the borders. I've ordered another 5 balls of this, so I'm hoping that will be enough. I'm only doing one of the border, one white border, and then cream, this is cream, and then I will, you know, join them then with just a slip stitch. I'm just going to do it with a slip stitch to join. But yeah, I think that's going to look beautiful. I'm so happy with that. I'm really looking forward to doing that. Really, and that's one of the colours that was on the new bar, which is lovely, isn't it? Like a corally pinky peach. It's beautiful. And they're not normally my colours, actually. They're a bit pastel-y, aren't they? And they're not normally my colours, but I normally like deeper colours. But I think that's going to look gorgeous. So yes, that's good. So back to my whips, which is what I was going to say. I watched Tobyknits, I think it's Anne on Tobyknits, a podcast, and she was saying she was going to do, she'd found on the I think it's, sorry, she had found on the YouTube, which I think is Knit365, and I can't remember the man's name, but he's also a really good podcaster. I'm into him, he's very nice. So I found 2 new podcasters at the minute, Tobyknits and Knit365, I think he's called, and he showed a system called the Gideon system. So if you go to Anne's podcast on Toby, Toby Knits, her dog's called Toby, that's why it's called Tobyknits, and she's got this system called the Gideon system, where you write down all your whips, and then I think you pick either 5 or 6 to work on, and you work for 12 hours on each of those whips. So the first whip in your list, you would work on that for 12 hours, and then that goes, once you've done your 12 hours, it goes to the bottom, then you work on the next whip. So I think that might be quite a good idea, because I mean, I'm loving this at the minute, but I do know that I can only do about 5 or 6 squares a day. Say I do it at night, it takes I'm down to about 25 minutes per square, which I know probably some people could whip them up in 15 minutes. I'm not a particularly fast crocheter. I'm not a particularly fast crocheter. I mean, I'm reasonable, you know. I'm quite reasonable, but I'm not. You know, you see some people and they're watching the telly and they're like this. Well, I'm not. I have to watch what I'm doing, but you know, I'm reasonably thin. But yeah, so it's taking me. So if I watch the telly for like a couple of hours of a night, I'll probably get 5 done. So I've done one this morning. That's all I did this morning, in between looking at podcasts and all that rubbish. So yeah, so 5 a night, and then I'm done. I can't do any more. So I do think that maybe I might start to get a bit bored with this. I'm hoping not, because I'm really enjoying it at the minute, but maybe the border and then putting them all together and sewing in ends, it might get monotonous. So what I'm thinking is I might have each month, I might have a big project like a blanket, and then a little project like maybe amigurumi, or I still haven't finished my socks off that I started at Christmas. I haven't finished those. Started crocheting those, didn't I? Yeah, so maybe a couple of small projects, and then a big project like a blanket. I am hoping to get the majority of this done. It's the 10th of January, so I'm hoping by the end of January I should have the majority of this done, hopefully, because I'm hoping to get all the squares done for this week. But who knows? So yes, that's that. So that's one. A finished object is my little snowdrop. Look at him or her, whichever. She's only got one leaf. But yeah, this is my little snowdrop that I've done. So I said that I would do out of, so she's got some little arms, and then she's got a little snowdrop hat on. This was only my second go at amigurumi, so I'm quite happy again with her. She's quite, I think I might call her Sally. Sally Snowdrop, there you go. So yeah, so that's her. And yeah, I whipped it up in about half a day, something like that. Finished it off the next morning, but the majority of it was done in half a day. So yeah, and she was from, there's a little sparrow on the thing outside. She was done from this, and I said that I would do one a month of these. So yeah, so one a month of these. And I thought I'd just do it, and then I'll put it on my Instagram page as my cover page for that month. So yeah, so she's a finished object. And also, excuse me, I'm having lemon and ginger today. It's very nice. This is what's needed on a day like today. It's a little bit warmer today. Yesterday was so cold and windy. The wind's not out today, but yesterday was so cold and windy. And then today it's cold but damp. Yesterday was beautiful, bright day, lovely. Yeah, so that was yesterday. So that's that. And I have to say, I'm a bit obsessed with this. I got this last year as a Christmas present off my husband, and it didn't come out the box. And I was doing a tidy up. If you go on my, or I might even try and put the picture in here actually. If you go to my Instagram page, you'll see the messy yarn that I found that was in my, I have a summer house at the bottom of my garden where my wool is stored. And so it had got a bit of a dumping ground. I don't know if I mentioned this last time. I think I did. It had got a bit of a dumping ground over Christmas and New Year. So before Christmas. So between Christmas and New Year, I decided that I would have a go at, just tidying away, seeing what I've got, looking at my whips and things. I've got about maybe 6 whips, which isn't too bad compared to some people who I watched. Is it Memily Makes? And she had about, I want to say 16, but I think she might have had more. So I didn't feel too bad after that. I felt a bit better after that, really. Yeah, I'm just going to stop. Sorry, it was just going to stop. So yeah, so I got that last year, this, and like I said, I was cleaning up my summer house. I do waffle, don't I? So this was a present off my husband, and I decided. So I found some messy yarns. I thought, right, I'll try this out. Oh my word, I love it. It's like a new toy, and I'm just winding everything. I'm even just balls of wool that don't really need winding. I'm winding them up, and I'm like, what are you doing? But I love it. It's just so satisfying. I don't know what it is about it, but yeah, it's so satisfying. So these were just little 50-gram balls that were already in a ball, so don't ask me, but I love a cake. Don't you just look at those colours? I mean, how lovely does that look? and you couldn't see all those colours when it was just in a ball of wool. So I love it. Yeah, and these are just cheap. These were £1 from the Knitting Network, the 50-gram balls, and I got them. I don't know, but yeah. So some of them are a bit more pinky and purple. They started banging again now, so yeah. And I've just been winding everything. If you stood still, I'd probably wind you up. If you had a thing on your cardigan and a pull on your cardigan and you pulled it off, I'd probably wind it up in a ball for you. But yeah, I love it. Look at them. But yeah, so sorry. Yeah, so I mean, it's not going to be much longer, this podcast anyway. So yeah, so that's my new toy, and I love it. I really do. I just love it. It's like, so yeah. So I'm trying to find balls of wool that need taking up or something. But yeah, I love that. It's just so satisfying. I don't know what it is about it, but it really is satisfying. So yeah, yeah. So that's it really for yarny goodness this week. Like I say, I might have some more next week because I have ordered. Well, I've ordered more of that. I'm thinking ahead for my blankets each month. So I want to get this one finished in January. Fingers crossed. I hope I do get it ready. I hope I do get it done. And then, sorry, I keep putting my fingers over my mouth, don't I? I do apologise. And then I did have some Karen Simply Soft that I got. I don't think it was even last year. I think it was the year before. There was a crochet along on Rich Textures, which is they've got she's got a Facebook group. I can't remember her name. I think it might be Sarah. She's American, and she does a lot of tutorials for free, and she also has patterns that you can print off for free, so it's really good. And she did a crochet along, and it was squares, and it was while my mum, I think my mum had just come out of hospital and she wasn't too good, and I was kind of doing them while we were out, because we used to have to stay at her house. I've got 3 sisters, and we used to stay at her house and look after her, stay overnight. And I remember I did do them while I was stopping there, you know, looking after her and things. Yes, and I know I won't finish it, so I've got like these lovely colours of, I'll show you next time, because now I've ordered 3 more of a different colour, and I'm hoping to do a corner to corner blanket for February. I've seen a lovely, it was on Pinterest, and it's an old pattern from Deramores, which isn't available anymore. Well, some of the wool is, but Deramores as a company is now, it was took over by Lovecrafts, I think, and I don't know if they're trying to kind of you know, run the yarn down that they've got, because you can't get many colours in it now, and it was lovely yarn, actually. It was really nice. So yeah, it isn't, but I thought, well, this wool that I've got, this Karen Simply Soft, will look nice in this pattern, and I'm hoping, well, the wool should come today, the other colour that I've ordered, and I shall show you next time. I'm sorry, I'm rambling so much, aren't I, today? I do apologise. Anyway, so yeah, excuse me. So yes, that's more wool that I'll be able to show you next time. Well, life's short, isn't it? You know, buy the wool. What's the point? So yeah, so that's that. Yeah, I haven't read any of my book. I haven't read any of my Little Women, which is just terrible. It really is terrible. I should have done, really. But I just haven't. We've been watching a lot of television. I think with doing a crochet of a night, and you know, you just get into that rhythm, don't you? And then watching, they've had quite a few dramas and things on. So sorry, I'm just straightening something up there. Yeah, so we've been doing that. So I've been watching, there's a new series of The Traitors. I don't know if I said that last time, but I've been watching that. I've caught up on that. So that's tonight. Yeah, so I've been watching that. I like that. I just like the dynamics of how people interact with each other and things like that. We watched Mr. Bates and the Post Office, or versus the Post Office. Oh my word, what an injustice that was. Like people keep saying, you kind of, if you don't know what it is, it's a drama based on a true story from about 10 years ago, I think it was. The late 90s, early 2000, maybe so that's 20, isn't it? Oh my word. So maybe 20 years ago, was it? Oh, I can't. Something like that. Or was it the 2000s? Anyway, and it was supposed it's an English one, so if I don't know where you're watching this, if you are watching this, but it was an English post offices. From what I can tell, is that you had a sub post master. So the post office is a big government-run company that does the mail here in England, in the UK, and so a sub post master would kind of own or manage a post office, and there was a new computer system, so that was their business basically, I think. And the post office introduced a new computer system, which then, like had a glitch in it really, and all these poor people were prosecuted because this computer system was showing deficits in the post office takings, and it wasn't no, and they were all, and some people prosecuted for theft. People lost their life savings. They had to pay the money back. It was awful. It was absolutely terrible. And I remember at the time, but you didn't kind of think about it. But this drama really brings it home. It's awful. Such an injustice. And these poor people, the lives were ruined. And some people, and I mean, I don't know how many, but I know one man committed suicide because he just couldn't face it. Oh, that's awful. So we watched that. And you can see it riled me. I've been watching my Gone Fishing with Bob and Paul, still watching that, and just watching catch ups. And if there's nothing on, I'll say to my husband, oh, let's watch a Bob and Paul, let's watch a Gone Fishing, because it makes me laugh, and it's just lovely watching. It's a nice watch. So yeah, so that was that, and that's it really. We haven't, like I say, we've been watching a couple of dramas. Yeah. Last week we went out, and there's a big like outlet called Boundary Mill, so we went there on Sunday, and I got a new coat and things like that, and I got some bedding. It's like a big outlet that has lots of different designers and things in there. Not designers, but you know what I mean, different designers. But so we went there on Sunday, and that's it really. And we've not really done much else. Like I said, I've been out for a walk today. I'm going to try and do some more walking and I need to get to my allotment as well, because it's just, the weather's, I can't really do much at the allotment, but, I could go and see what's happening and what it looks like at least. It could be buried under 10 feet of water, but I doubt it. Yeah, so that's been it really. And in a few weeks I'll be sowing some of my seeds for the allotment and things like that, and hopefully getting out in the garden. I did tidy the garden up a couple of weeks ago, so that doesn't look too bad. So sorry if you're looking, I can see my garden through the windows here. So yeah, that's about it really. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's podcast. It is a couple of days late. I do apologise as usual. But yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed it. And I shall speak to you soon, and have a lovely week, and I shall see you. Bye. Thank you for watching, and if you would, please subscribe if you haven't already. And tell your friends, and I hope you can join me next time for a nice cuppa and a chat. See you soon. Bye.